I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review, and this is another paid request, this time from Christopher. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for a made-for-HBO movie, which I'd never heard of, called The Man Who Broke 1,000 Chains. Now, this is based on a true story, and it stars Val Kilmer. True story of a guy who, in World War One, he was fighting for a country, he came back, and now he's a bit out of it. I mean, it goes from flashbacks to him fighting the war, the turmoil he went through, while in the present time, about 1921, he's out there protesting. He's got a sign like, "I fought for your country. I did this for you. I can't find a job." Like, he's out of it. He's losing it. So he talks with his brother. He pretty much goes, "I need to go find a job. I'm being a hindrance here." So he starts riding the rails, trying to find a job. There's a point that he gets with these bums. They try to beat him up, except one, and that one is Clancy Brown, who I remember. Clancy Brown, he's an actor who's been in a lot of stuff. He was in The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai. He was in Blue Steel. He was the bad guy in the first Highlander movie. Pet Sematary 2. No brain, no pain. He helps him, but then you come to find out that he pushes him and forces him by gunpoint to do this robbery. And the robbery, there's only $5 there. And so Clancy Brown gets away, Val Kilmer gets caught, and he's sent 6 to 10 years in a Georgia chain gang. So pretty much just the injustice of what this guy went through. As I said, it's based on a true story, and the turmoil of what he went through, the turmoil of a chain gang in particular, and the rough treatment prisoners get while in the chain gang. Just to the point where he escapes, he becomes successful as a magazine publisher. He gets caught, he escapes again, and then they made a movie out of his stuff called "I Am a Fugitive from a Chain Gang," starring a guy named Paul Muni. Back in the day, in the 30s or so, and they actually show that within this movie. They show the actual person going to the theater to see that movie made on his life story, because he wrote a book on it. And so at the end of the day, it was interesting because I did not know much about the real life story of this guy. Val Kilmer does a good job. I don't know about him as a person, but I'm sorry that he went through. He's ill, But from all intents and purposes, when he was on a lot of movie sets, he was a piece of shit human being. Like, no one really has much nice to say about him. Like, during the Island of Dr. Moreau, he would, like, take, like, a cigarette and, like, dump ashes on people's ears. Something like that. And another director mentioned that he would make other actors or ladies cry on set, or it just seems like a piece of shit human being. But do I like him as an actor? Yeah, I've liked him as an actor, whether it be in Top Gun, whether it be in Real Genius, or even, he was fine as Batman, and he does a good job here. I just put that out there because I don't like him as a human being, but he's, not a bad actor. I don't know if that hindered my thoughts on this movie, because part of me wishes it was someone else. Like, of prison movies, I would not put this up with Lockup, with Sylvester Stallone. Lockup, I think, is a much better film than this. Shawshank Redemption, I think, is a much better film than this when we're talking prison movies. But, if I'm being... does a nice job showing the turmoil of this chain gang. It does showcase the horrible conditions, the crap food, where you eat pig fat, red beans, mush, stuff that would make you gag. In fact, Val Kilmer's character does gag on it. The turmoil of you have to sleep with these chains through your leg irons, so you're literally sleeping with chains on your feet. How they get so tight around it you can barely even step down without falling. How you'll be working, and if someone gives you a bucket of water, the asshole guards will kick it. Being put into the sweat box. Granted, it's stuff you've seen in a lot of movies and a lot of prison films. I mean, there's a lot of prison films that will show you how horrible it is in prison, so it's not like the first or last movie to do it. But it still did it well enough to make you feel sorry for Val Kilmer's character. And there's other actors that are recognizable, that are solid. I mentioned Clancy Brown. The warden of this chain gang, this prison outfit, is Charles Durning. Charles Durning, he was the star of the original When a Stranger Calls. He would work with Burt Reynolds quite a few times. He was in... Oh, what was that Burt Reynolds film? It was Burt Reynolds trying to do his Dirty Harry movie. Damn it. I'm going to think about it after the damn film. But it was a film that Burt Reynolds directed, and Charles Durning was the star. I'll look it up while I'm doing the review. But, yeah, Charles Durning's in the film. William Sanderson, he plays the asshole guard. And William Sanderson, I recognize, he was in this TV show called Newhart. He was a guy who was with the other two, and he would go, "This is my brother Daryl, this is my other brother Daryl." William Sanderson was also in Blade Runner 2049. Not 2049, the original Blade Runner. What am I talking about? He was in the original Blade Runner. He was a guy who Daryl Hannah kind of tried to seduce in the second half of the film in order to get Rutger Hauer and them to meet with these upper echelons. I'm going to look this up because it's going to annoy me. Sorry guys, Burt Reynolds. I know people like, I know the title of the movie, asshole. I know. I can't help it. I'm going to be annoyed as pissed at myself. I'm going to be like, what the fuck was that? No, it's not Hard Time. Oh, interesting. That's another movie. Another TV movie in 1998, Hard Time. That's not the only movie they did. What the fuck? I know that he's in that one as well. Fine, go to Images, asshole. God damn it. You fucking asshole. Do a simple fucking thing. Now you're telling me about Charles Durning's death. I'm asking about a movie, you fucking shit. On Burt Reynolds Films. I'm sure Christopher doesn't give a fuck about me going on my phone trying to find this goddamn thing. He's like, just get to back to the fucking review. I know. I can't help it. Sometimes I do wonder if I have some kind of fucking OCD or ADD or some other shit. Film. It's in the 80s. Fuck was it? Sharky's Machine. There you go. Sharky's Machine. Yeah, that was worth it, huh? Sorry about that 5-minute fucking tangent. But Sharky's Machine. No, it's not cop and a half. Okay, get off. Okay, Sharky's Machine, sorry. Goddamn fucking phone. So back to the review. Again, apologize for that. So, at the end of the day, because it goes through that, he escapes, when he first escapes, and then it's about him trying to connect with life again, I would say his first escape, and then he gets with this girl who he rents a room from, and then the girl kind of blackmails him into marriage. I think that's when the film kind of dipped downhill for me, because I really did not care about this stuff. That's not fair to the movie, because if it's based on a true story and that's what happened in real life, you can't ignore that. But I'm just saying, at this point, I really wasn't interested. Like, when it was in the chain gang and showing the ups and downs and turmoil and the trials and tribulations of that, I was, okay, what's going to happen next? But when he escapes, I don't care about him being a magazine publisher. I don't care about him renting a room from this girl who's like, you're going to fuck me and you're going to marry me, or I'm going to tell on you. But then he does it, but then he falls in love with another girl, and then the previous girl is pissed and being a bitch and gets him arrested again. Oh, if you go back willingly, it'll be 45 to 90 days. Well, that was horseshit. Of course it's horseshit. And it was horseshit. I could see it was horseshit. So then he's got to escape again. And he does. I do think being a made-for-TV movie held it back as well, because being made for TV, it doesn't have the best production values. It just doesn't. It doesn't have a scope to it. It has a lack of style. In comparison to, like, The Shawshank Redemption, which I know is not fair because The Shawshank Redemption had a bigger budget, but that's also part of my point. You look at The Shawshank Redemption, it's centered strictly on that prison. I know this is based on a true story. I'm just saying as a movie to movie, because it's stuck to this prison, because we're now leaving in and out and escaping and blah blah, because we're with these characters throughout their whole journey within these prison walls, because of the scope, like the scene where he puts on the record and he's seeing all the prisoners and the way the camera goes about the prison yard, hearing this piece of music while the guards are trying to open up the door to stop Tim Robbins from playing it, or the bit when he escapes and, yes, it's a cliche shot nowadays, but he's got the rain and his arms are with arms wide open. Maybe it's the inspiration for the Creed song, I don't know. That's what I mean by, like, there's a scope to the prison, and there's the production values are there. But this is made for HBO, so, the production values are limited. I said the direction, there's really nothing in the direction that speaks out to me, whether it be camera work-wise or editing-wise or any of that sort. I would never see the film again, because again, there are other prison movies, Lock Up, Shawshank Redemption, An Innocent Man with Tom Selleck, that's another one. I would just rather watch them, because I got a bit more out of them. Again, because of their focus on the prison, because of that a bit more budget to play with, because honestly, I like those actors more than Val Kilmer as a person. I know that's not fair, but I'm being honest. But let me put it this way. If you look up the real story, or if you are a fan of I'm a Fugitive from a Chain Gang with Paul Mooney, or if you like all types of prison films, or if you're a fan of Val Kilmer and you're a big fan of it, it's worth a look. It's for free on YouTube. I doubt this got a DVD release, so you probably be only able to see it on YouTube. It's about 2 hours long. Again, other than... It's not that I'm saying there's a lot bad about it. It's just... I thought it was okay at the end of the day. Val Kilmer's performance, he did a good job. Like I said, the Clancy Brown, Charles Durning, William Sanderson, seeing the other actors pop up was nice to see. Like I said, when he first escapes and it goes with this whole marriage, blackmailing to be married to this girl, I lost a lot of interest. And part of me is like, okay, if he goes back to prison, can we get back there? Or it's almost as if the story is stalled. It's like the whole story is about this whole prison thing, and this big chunk in the middle is kind of stalling until we get back to there. Part of me almost wishes that it just jumped from his first escape, maybe 5 minutes in this world, then went back to like that. Number one, it made for a shorter running time, and number two, I almost felt like I'm in a different movie, and now we're back to the prison story. And so I get that you're trying to go through the life of this guy and what he was going through, so that's why I'm not being too harsh on it. But it just, that part of his story was not interesting. That part of his life story wasn't interesting to me. The title... And the reason it's called The Man Who Broke 1,000 Chains, it's not like he's literally breaking them, but because he wrote the story, because he got the story out there book form, and then it became a movie form, and then people were so outraged, it led to the death of chain gangs, especially in Georgia. And I think that's one of the reasons why the story, the people who made it wanted it to be told. Like, the terrible conditions of these chain gangs were stopped because of this guy, because of him escaping, because of him letting people know the truth out there, from book to movie with Paul Mooney. And so with that, I can understand why that story would be told. But like I said, I wish it had a bit more budget, production value wise, or a bit more style and direction. I wish the middle portion with the whole, either make it more interesting, I don't know how, or skip it, or lessen it, or just something about, I don't know. And again, the whole movie in itself, I've seen this type of story done before, but it's that part of me is, oh, it's based on a true story, so I see the merit of it being told. It's just, I see also the same merit in other movies. Maybe they were not chain gangs, to be fair, but like I say, it's an okay film. If this is what you're going for, if this is the type of movie you're looking for, if you want to learn more about the real life story of this guy, I want to get the guy's name that's based on. Of course, and I shut my phone off. I didn't write the guy's name down. But overall, I think it's not a bad movie. It does what it's supposed to do, to tell you the horrible conditions, make you feel for Val Kilmer's character, give the audience an idea as to why, when he told this story, it led to the abolishment of these chain gangs. And yeah, they may be prisoners, but they're still people, so... Great, if it's a murderer or a rapist or a child molester, I'd be like, fine, put him in there. But if it's someone that only stole $5, or someone like Val Kilmer that didn't really do it, but he was innocent, that's a different matter. But you can say that for any type of prison system, and more so with how vile the stuff was going on here. The Man Who Broke. Which I get the reason for the title. It is a kind of a little bit of a clunky title. But I get why as well. 7.1 on IMDb, 96% Rotten Tomatoes, so it's a very much liked movie. And like I say, it's not a bad movie, if that's what you're going for. Yeah, I Am a Fugitive from a Chain Gang. The original was in 1932. And that's the movie that Val Kilmer goes to see at the end of the film. Robert Elliott Burns. Nominated Cable Ace Award for Actor in a Miniseries or Movie. Directed by Daniel Mann. October 31st, 1987. This came out... Really? Around Halloween. Interesting. Maybe it has a DVD, unless this is a DVD-R someone made of it. But anyway. So yeah, if you want to learn more about his story and the conditions he went through, and if you're a big Val Kilmer fan, it's worth a watch. Again, it was interesting to see, but it's like, I'll never watch it again. Just like, for the reasons I said. But yeah, it's not a bad film. It's just, I would rather reach for a copy of An Innocent Man or Shawshank Redemption or Lock Up, entertainment-wise, if that makes sense. But yeah, not a bad film. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.